Hey guys, back up here for another video once again here at youtube.com/DanielGuyza412. As you can see by the title of this video, the match that I want to see at SummerSlam for the Universal Championship, when we finally get a Universal Championship defense from Brock Lesnar. Wow, how refreshing would that be to actually see the championship defended, because it sure as hell won't be defended at Extreme Rules, the show that I'm going to, and I paid a good amount of money for this ticket, so why would I expect a Universal Championship defense on that show? Rumors are that the next time Brock Lesnar will defend the title is at SummerSlam. And I feel the match that needs to happen, a rematch from Battleground, in which Lesnar did not pin this man. He lost due to interference from the dead man, The Undertaker, is the only Seth freaking Rollins. I feel that the Universal Championship match at SummerSlam this year needs to be Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar. And I would like to see Seth Rollins beat Brock Lesnar and burn down Lesnar's title reign. It needs to come to an end. It's time. It's long overdue. I thought Roman was beating Lesnar at WrestleMania. Didn't happen. Greatest Royal Rumble. Didn't happen. Now we're going to have to wait till SummerSlam. He better lose that title to somebody. And if it's going to be somebody, I feel the time now is to put the title on Seth Rollins. I believe this would, if Rollins does challenge Lesnar for the Universal Championship, it would have been his second time challenging for that title. Of course, he was in the inaugural Universal Championship match at SummerSlam versus Finn Balor. Actually, take that back. He challenged Kevin Owens for it at least 3 times. So Rollins had a couple cracks at the Universal Championship. But it's been a while since we've seen him go after that title. And I feel he's the one with the most momentum behind Braun Strowman on that Raw brand. It's either Braun or Rollins. And I'm kind of leaning more towards Seth. I feel Braun will get his time. But if Seth freaking Rollins should win the Universal Championship, here are the top 5 opponents I would like to see challenge Seth for that title. And shout out to Solomonster. Solomonster Sounds Off. Be sure to check out his podcast. That's where I got the inspiration for this video. Great YouTuber, great podcaster, one of the best wrestling podcasts out there. So be sure to show him some love and support. So without further ado, let's dive into this top 5 video. Number 5 opponent for Seth Rollins is Roman Reigns. But Roman Reigns as a heel. These two had a great match, I feel, back at Money in the Bank 2016. Of course, that was the match and the night where Dean Ambrose won and cashed in on Seth Rollins, who beat Roman Reigns. So in one night, all 3 members of the Shield were WWE champion. So that was pretty cool. But I feel with the roles reversed, of course, Rollins was the heel, even though it was wrong at that time too. Bringing him back as a heel was a mistake against Roman Reigns. And it just confused the crowd, and it's just like they want to cheer for Rollins, but you're bringing him back as a heel. To me, it just didn't make sense. If you flip the roles here and have Roman as the heel and Seth as the babyface, I feel the dynamic would work out in terms of crowd response. And I feel these two could tell a great story in the ring based on their history as members of the Shield and what have you. So Roman Reigns as a heel is number 5 on my list. Moving on here to number 4 on my list, I have Jason Jordan. I know what you're saying. Oh, Jason Jordan, he's not ready. Well, he probably isn't. But I feel down the line there is some history, some continuity between him and Seth Rollins. Remember, it was him and Rollins that were tag team champions, and it seemed like they were going in the direction of Jason Jordan versus Seth Rollins, possibly at WrestleMania, until Rollins got injured. Or should I say Jason Jordan got injured, excuse me. So once Jordan got injured, those plans were scrapped. I feel we will see this feud, whether it's for the Intercontinental Championship or down the line. If you want to bring Jordan back, maybe have him and Gable reunite, go on a run as American Alpha for a brief period of time, because I feel like it would help the Raw Tag Team division. And then, if Rollins wins the Universal Championship, I feel Jordan would be a logical opponent for Rollins to face from now, if he won the title at SummerSlam, until WrestleMania. I'd like to see Rollins hold the title from that length of time. I feel he could have a great run and a great series of matches as the Universal Champion. Number 3 on my list, Finn Balor. There's a lot of history between Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. And remember, Finn Balor has yet to get his Universal Championship rematch. That's right. Still waiting on it. Been, 2 years now? And I don't think Finn Balor is going to be the one to face Brock Lesnar. But if Seth Rollins is, and beats Lesnar at SummerSlam, coming out of it, wouldn't he be the logical number 1 contender? For the Universal Championship, to me, okay, if you don't want to do Balor or Lesnar, that's fine. You can do Balor Rollins coming out of SummerSlam. I feel, one more match between those two for the Universal Championship. There you go. I mean, to me, it makes sense. So that's why Finn is number 3 here on my list. Number 2 on my list. These two have a lot of history with one another. They had a great feud in late 2014. And it goes without saying. This feud will happen when it comes back. When this man comes back, excuse me. And when Dean Ambrose returns, you can guarantee he's supposed to be gone 6 to 9 months. He could come back by SummerSlam. And there's another opponent for Seth Rollins coming out of SummerSlam. If you want to have Ambrose turn on Rollins for injuring him in storyline, based on the way they wrote Ambrose off TV in that match with it was Seth and Dean, and Dean got hurt in that match because of Rollins. I remember how they set that up to write Ambrose off TV. Of course, you had Joe attack him afterwards, but the impetus for that, and the fact that Ambrose, when him and Rollins weren't on the same page, and, they finally were able to get past their differences, and I thought that was very well done heading into SummerSlam. It made sense for these two not to trust each other, but I think deep down, you could play up the fact that Ambrose never fully trusted Rollins, and that moment where Seth said, all right, you want to get it out of your system, you want to hit me with the chair, and eventually, he didn't do it, but I think down the line, you could build to that moment where Ambrose turns on Rollins, he wants that Universal Championship, and that would be a nice feud throughout the fall, Ambrose Rollins, with the roles reversed. But there's just one more guy above Dean Ambrose that I would like to see go in there with Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship. And that is why my number 1 pick to face Seth Rollins as Universal Champion is Drew McIntyre. To me, Drew McIntyre, he came back reinvigorated. His work on the independent scene, in TNA, and he really became more of a well-rounded performer. We saw him return to NXT. We saw him capture the NXT Championship. He's on the main roster now, paired with Ziggler. I like that pairing. You could build to them having a tag team championship run, and you could have them face Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy at SummerSlam, and have them hold those titles maybe till the end of the year. And then have, Drew turn on Dolph. I think we all know it's inevitable, but to me it makes sense. And then you build Drew up as an opponent. He is a future challenger and potential future Universal Champion. That's how much potential I see in Drew McIntyre this time around. His first go-around, he didn't have the best of success. This time around, he's got the look. He's got, I think he's pretty good on the promo. Great wrestler. Everything that you need and are looking for. He's a big guy. So Vince, there you go. He's tall. He's big. He's not small. Yeah, there you go. But I think a series of matches between Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins would be outstanding. And for the Universal Championship, sign me up. So that's why Drew McIntyre, to me, is the number 1 guy that I would like to see face Seth Rollins for that Universal Championship. And to once again run down my top 5 list. Number 5, a heel Roman Reigns. Number 4, Jason Jordan. Number 3, Finn Balor. Number 2, a heel Dean Ambrose. And number 1, Drew McIntyre. So those are the top 5 opponents that I would like to see face Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship coming out of SummerSlam. Guys, let me know down in the comments section below who are the top 5 opponents you would like to see Seth Rollins face at SummerSlam. And that about does it for this video, guys. I want to say thank you all for watching. Be sure to click that like and subscribe button here on youtube.com/DanielGuyza412 for all my latest thoughts. Be sure to follow me on Twitter @DanielGuyza412. Be be sure to follow me on Facebook, facebook.com/DanielGaza1994. The links down below will be in the description box. So until then, guys, thanks for watching this video. Have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you later on in my next video, whenever that may be. Take care, guys.